What's going on, guys? I hope you're having a good day. Today we're looking at the most important list of this bull run, the top picks, the top AI picks, the top AI coins to be holding in this run. We already know AI is going to be the best narrative to be in this bull run. We ran over that in the previous videos. Now we want to make sure that we establish ourselves in obviously the more obvious coins, but also the smaller cap coins that, if go well, will give you the biggest return. First things first. Market is looking pretty healthy. Ethereum is sitting at 4,600. Had a very decent run. I think once so all-time high is obviously sitting at $4,890. Once we get past that new all-time high into the 5,000 onto the 6 and 7,000 Ethereum, we're gonna see a massive alt season, and it will be pretty easy to make money. Anybody that was here in the previous bull run knows that you could just throw your money at any random coin and you were successful. You'd be making money. You would 3, 4, 5 actual coins without even knowing what the hell you were doing. But if you do know what you're doing, if you know where to look, if you know what to pick, this is where the life-changing money is gonna come into play. So we know that I'm overexposed in AI. I've put probably 70-80% of my tokens are currently, or of my money is currently sitting in AI, with Teo being the biggest bag out of all tokens that I hold. I think if we look into the tokens that I've picked for this bull run, Teo is a very obvious play. Everybody speaks about it. It's already well established within the market. It's got a proven product. It's essentially the building block for other projects to be building on. Other projects rely on Teo. It's like the layer one of AI. And obviously, because so many projects are dependent on Teo, this is the most obvious pick. Once the whole market picks up, Teo will be the first one to have a run. Currently sitting at a market cap of over 3 billion. It's obviously halfway or 50% down from its all-time high. But overall, I think if Teo really goes on a big run, market cap here could be huge. If you look at, you look at the market where in the last bull run, major coins were at a market cap that were just out of proportion. That is what you can that is what happens at a big bull run. Projects go out of proportionally high. So a Solana in its last bull run, out of nowhere, shoot up from, it was doing really well, and it was going from a low $3 to a crazy $236. There was 100x in here from the start of the run up until its peak, which is a Solana, a layer one, a bigger token. So we're gonna see the same thing happening now with coins like Teo, who are new in this bull run, who haven't actually experienced the bull run yet. I wouldn't be surprised if Teo is gonna go at a market cap of over $30 billion, which means there could be a 25 plus X in here, close to 30X if we're very lucky. Is that necessarily gonna happen? Is that really 100% certain? No. Should you hold all the way up to that run? No, definitely not. You should sell along the way on the way up. But I don't think we're nowhere near that initial selling point or the first selling point. So I think the target should be a minimum of a market cap of $15 billion, which means we could see at least a 4-5x in there still. Then after that, if you go from, let's pull the list up here. If you go from Teo a little bit down, Near is a very safe bet. It's a good token to hold. Render, I actually do hold myself as well. I think Render should also be going to 10 billion plus, which means there's a 5x in there. Worst case scenario, it should 3 to 4x your money. So let's say worst case scenario, it should 3x your money. It's a very safe bet. So along with Near, along with Render, and of course Teo, you've got your safe bets. I still hold Fetch at the moment, or Fed. I do hold it. I held it from the start already. Is this really my biggest play? No. If I would have to put a little bit more money into the market right now, this is not what I would pick, but I do hold it, and I'm not going to swap it around. I'm just going to keep it. And I do believe that there's upward potential. So if you hold this, I think you're safe and you're in it to make money, but it's definitely not going to be one of the tokens that's going to stand out mainly. AOS, I do hold. I hold a fair decent bag of AOS. If we go well within the AI space, which obviously we're anticipating on, AOS should be going to a couple $1 billion. So there should again at least be a 3 to 4x in there as well. But as for the main picks that I have at the moment, of course it's Teo. Teo being the number one. Zik Chain could be in the top seven, maybe top five. It is difficult to pinpoint which one is obviously going to be the best one, but Zig is definitely up there. Destra though is my next bet. So after Teo, I believe that DSYNC should be the number two pick. So DSYNC, we made a full separate video on this. So if we want to go a little bit more in depth of what DSYNC exactly does, go watch the different video. But they, if we want to quickly pull it up, obviously have been coming up with a whole lot of development lately. They've pushed out a bunch of new updates within the tools that they offer. Same thing with Forteo. They have an up and running product. Their marketing team is doing really well. They've just been listed on KuCoin, and there are some major updates coming that will be listed on a couple other exchanges along the way. I'm sure that there's some major exchanges that are going to be listing DSYNC soon. And again, safe bet. I think here the good thing with DSYNC is if we look at high risk coins that are sub $100 million market cap or even sub $50 million market cap, it can go either way. It can go to zero out of nowhere. You might think you're in a amazing project, and out of nowhere it just jumps straight to zero, and you'll be left with nothing overnight. Or of course it can go the other way around, and you make a lot of money. But then DSync is slightly above that. It's a little bit of a safer bet. It's still fairly risky because it is a brand new project, but it is a little bit of a safer bet. But it has all the upside potential. This could easily be a $1.5 billion market cap, or at least a billion plus. So a 7 to 10x in here is easily possible. This is currently one of my bigger bags that I do hold. So a 7 to 10x in here would means we make a lot of money. But again, I do invest in a project like this also knowing and understanding that you could potentially not make the money that you anticipated on. So that is why a bag like Teo, this is where I hold a 6-figure amount of money in. And in DSync, in my opinion, it's a large bag, but it's probably less than half of what I hold in Teo. So still a little bit of risk management here is in the play, but I have an extreme high conviction into DSync. After DSync, I think one of the other plays that is going to be a bit of a no-brainer and has a bit of the same vibe to DSync, not as in what it does, but as in the certainty of how well this should perform, is Anyone protocol. It's actually not here in the list when you look at the AI coins, but overall, Anyone is needed within the crypto space. So what I really like is narratives that are important and needed, especially in the crypto space. When you look at why are people in crypto, well, AI is just a cool narrative. It's a good marketing tool. Every project these days says like, oh, we've got AI, where there's no use within the actual AI space in the token. They just use the word AI because they know it attracts people. What actually is important in the blockchain in crypto is privacy and security, which is where Anyone comes into play. So I think Anyone is a very certain play, a very easy 5 to 7x as well. So I would put Anyone in my top 4 tokens. So when we got Teo, DSync, and Anyone, if I would have to pick 3, that would probably be my top 3 picks, because it's also got a good spread between the functionality within the space. So Teo, Destra, or DSync, and Anyone are my top picks. Also, in the top 5, I've put Paal. So Paal has obviously had a bit of a bad news in the market at some point. That I don't know where they dropped. There was a bit of FUD, but then they did bring it back up. Paal, important token within the space. It's currently sitting at 100 million market cap. I believe that there's an easy 5 to 7x in Paal as well. So The cool thing is it's a very useful tool. So it's a very applicable, useful tool. It's fairly well known within the space. When you look at the social media, when you look at Twitter, when you look at X, a lot of major accounts are talking about it, which again, I say it every single time in crypto, it's not just the metrics, it's not just the data that's important compared to the stock market. The difference there is where people look at PE ratios, or people look at certain metrics and data to pinpoint whether they think it's a good project or a worthy investing company or not. Within crypto, it's slightly different. The marketing, the team behind it, the community behind it is way more important than anything really. And Paul is doing a fairly good job with that at the moment. So my next pick is Paul, and my pick after that will be Hash AI. Currently sitting at $50 million market cap, so way lower. Obviously, as you see here, it's gone. It struggled a little bit over time, but again, backed by a bunch of major accounts. HashAI has got a really good following, and HashAI has got a really good community behind it. It looks good. Plus, at a $50 million market cap, you do need some tokens in there that you put your conviction in, that you go after, and that we're looking at that with Hash AI. So overall, that will be my top 5 pick. And out of these top 5, I did put Hash AI last because it still got a lot more to prove compared to the other tokens. One token that I didn't put in there in the top picks, with pain in my heart, unfortunately, is 0x0. We made a video about it. Obviously, we've spoken about it quite a bit. There's a lot of fun going on Twitter. They just made a post. I'll be honest, I'm one of the guys that's been funding it a little bit lately. I recently just sold most of my bags just before, so I sold a portion of it. I held a decent bag of 0x0. A little while back, I would have told you that this was my highest conviction play in AI, without a doubt. Without a doubt, this was my highest conviction play because of the narrative, because of what it does. It's in privacy, it's in security, it's in AI itself, of course, and it works. It's got a functioning product. It's got a 100% reward sharing system with the holders. It just made a lot of sense, but the team is absolutely terrible. So absolutely dog shit team, which means I still hold some, but I've sold some of my my bag. As you can see here, this guy doesn't seem too happy, but they just made a post. So they said that there's been $10.4 million been given back to the community, which is huge. Over 2,000 Ethereum has been distributed to the holders. For just holding it, you can claim it back. That should be an exciting announcement, and nobody has got anything good to say about this project. So obviously, we've got a whole different video about 0x0 already. The reason why I did still want to bring it up is because I guess I'm a perfect example of how the crypto space works. You would have asked me 2 months ago what would be my number one play in AI. I would have said 0x0. Fast forward 2 months from now, and I just sold a portion of my bag. Not all of it. I still hold a moon bag just in case it does blow up. I didn't want to miss out, but I'm just not convinced anymore. So I don't want to hold that big of a bag. I actually put a little bit more money into HashAI. So I transitioned it from a coin with a similar market cap that holds a similar level of risk, that is still very new, that hasn't proven anything and hasn't established anything. So again, I'm also aware HashAI could just drop to zero just as fast as 0x0 could, but at least I spread my risk a little bit, spread myself into different tokens. If one of them goes well, then it makes up for the other one not doing too well. If you're unlucky, worst case scenario, they both drop to zero. It does happen. That's what happens in crypto. But therefore, you have your biggest bag in a coin like Teo. That's just a no-brainer. If you want to go heavy into AI, then this is what you do. You put your main focus in Teo, so that even if everything else falls to shit, at least you still have Teo, where probably you'll make up for the loss of all the other coins by just holding this one. So if you don't even know too much about it, or you don't want to read into it, you don't want to look at what the tokens are actually doing, that is your bet. So again, 0x0 has got absolutely terrible FUD going on. Some of them are trying to say something positive about it, but majority of the people, even with positive posts, it's just not working out. So long story short, What does that mean? Teo is the number one biggest play that we have. DSYNC is our second best play. It'll be interesting to see whether DSYNC will outperform Teo with ROI, not percentage ROI, but financial ROI. So for me personally, I hold a bigger bag in Teo, but I believe if Destra really does blow up, I might end up earning more money, which is why we're in this, of course, on DSYNC than I will compared to Teo. Anyone is in our top three. HashAI is in our top four, and then Paal is our top five, and then Paal is in our top five as well. Those are my main picks. Do I still hold other tokens within the AI space as well? Yes, there's a couple random ones that I hold here and there. TeoBot I've held from all the way at the beginning. I had to go out of my way to find a way to buy TeoBot, which is currently sitting at a $50 million market cap. So here we go. As we know, TeoBot will go up as a secondary token from Teo. So when Teo goes up, TeoBot will follow and probably outperform. When I back in the days invested into stocks, I invested into gold mines. When gold went up, the gold minings go up as well, but they always outperformed by twofold what the gold itself will do. Teo will go up 2x and TeoBot will go up 4x. Quote Alex Becker. So that is one of the tokens that I still hold. And again, yeah, so if sometimes you do get lucky. I actually bought in TeoBot very, very early on already, somewhere end of last year, somewhere sitting here. So we've got a very clean 8x, probably 8 or 9x on that already. But I just bought in a couple $1,000 only. So we'll ride it out and we'll probably sell a little bit. So my game plan here is to sell a little bit along the way. If this doubles, I'll sell a little bit. If it then goes a little bit further, I'll sell a bit more and a little bit more. Not too fussed there, obviously. Don't forget to take profit along the way, especially with those random coins that could also, I don't know, or come up with some weird announcement that it just crumbles down to zero. I think that's it for today. Those are my main picks. That's where my head's at. In the next videos, we're going to be diving a little bit further into some more individual coins that I have and the major layer ones, which is one of the other narratives that I'm heavy in. So we'll be covering all the layer ones that I'm holding. Enjoy your weekend. I'll see you guys in the next video.